Okay, it's an audio analysis of the serial port program I've been trying to figure out here. It was written by someone else, Paul. His name's Paul. And as a beginner, I've been trying to figure this out. I've done several videos, non-audio versions. This is an audio version. Uh, First, I'm going to go over what the program actually does, and then do a general description of the whole program, and then hopefully hook it up to a display and put some breakpoints in and try to follow the program along as it executes. This program can either send a series of bytes over the USB. I'm going to have it hooked up to USB to serial port, USB to serial port connection. So there'll be like a virtual COM port on COM7, and it'll send data over to a microcontroller. But this actual C# program, what it does is you can click on either one of these radio buttons, and you can either send a series of bytes, whatever you enter in this box, whatever byte you want, or you can send a single customized byte just by clicking any of the boxes, and it'll send one byte for each iteration that you put. Now you can change the number of iterations you want to use to 1 or 100 or whatever, and you can also change the delay, the time delay between when each byte is sent. That's what these boxes are for. And then you can you set up your parameters for your serial port up here. You can enter whatever COM port. If you go into your device manager and see what COM port your basically your USB serial converter is using, enter it here. You can enter your baud rate here. You have a series of combo boxes for selecting the type of parity you want to use. Also the stop bits you want to use, the type of encoding that you want to use, handshake, and timeout. And down here you have a basically text box that will display what's going on in the program as it's working. So this is generally what the the program does. When you click on the send button, it starts to send depending on how many iterations you have selected, and time delay starts sending, and which radio button you have selected sends us either a series of bytes or one byte over and over again, customized byte you made. So get into the guts of the program. Basically, we'll start at the top. You got your generic default settings, but the ones that are added here are system I/O ports. That's the .NET serial port class that's written for you. Also, we've added system threading, because in his program he uses more than one thread, and he uses some techniques where the other threads are blocked while one thread works, and then they're released. We'll get into that later. Basically, he starts out the program setting up a structure here with all the various structures. Basically a container that can hold many different types of variables. In this case, we've got strings and integers. We've got enumerations. These enumerations are are part of the .NET serial port class. They're already written for you. And then you can see here we've got the usual. This is in the top part of the form here. Your COM port, your baud rate, and your parity, your encoding, etc. And then here you have a value for your hex values. That's going to be for these values that you put in this box. And then your bit value is going to be if you choose this radio button, you want to choose to send 1 byte. That'll be that variable. And of course you have your delay between bytes and your iterations variable, and then Boolean use hex values, and okay, I'll move down to this part. Basically, what you can see here, he's setting the default values for each box. Here you can go to your let me get rid of that. Go to your design. You can see your COM port text box here. Let's see what, obviously port name here is the name he's given to that. So obviously that's what you see here is the port name, the name assigned to the text box, and he's setting the text box equal to COM7, so that when you load the form, COM7 comes up. Same with your baud rate. Default values -1 for timeout. So those are pretty basic right there. Now the port, these boxes here are combo boxes. So you can select, many, like this first one is your port parity. So you're going to have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 values here. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values here. And then basically, you type the name of the box. Then you'll see on your IntelliSense, you can pop up and add items and add, and that'll add each one of these different selections to your combo boxes. You're basically doing this manually here, entering it in to give you all these different values, these enumerations in this case, to add in the drop down for the combo box. And same for the port stop bits. That's the name of the stop bits box. And then items add, and then your enumerations, your stop bits. And if you go to .NET and the serialport.io class or namespace, you'll see you can get a list of different types of enumerations. There you see your parity enumerations. Gives you a list of them. Same with the other enumerations we're using here, stop bits, encoding, handshake. Now this line here, port parity, selected index, that will give you the default value that shows up in the combo boxes, similar to setting your text box equal to COM7. Well, this is a similar type of statement that will do the same for the combo box, setting the drop down. And like an enumeration starts at it starts at 0 and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, you can change it. If we were to change it to 3. Okay, so we changed port parity to 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3 should say mark, and then you can see it up here, it's changed to mark. Change it back to 0. Alright, so we're back where we were with even. Alright, then obviously your diagnostics text is set to ready. Okay, now this part is a little tricky for me to figure out here. You set the a Boolean value M running to false, so this value is initially set to false, and then we'll get into the manual reset event. He's declaring a variable part of the manual reset event class. Basically, it's a class that will block if block using in this program he uses reset and set, and so he'll either be blocking threads or telling the threads they can continue executing. We'll get into that later in the program, but he uses three types. He uses the reset, which sets the state of the event to non-signal, causing threads to block. Or you'll see in the program he uses sets the state of the event to signal, allowing one or more waiting threads to proceed. And then it uses a boolean boolean to set the initial state of the class, either the false or true, either signal or non-signal. So right here we've got the send data button. So obviously it's over here. So this stuff is going to be executed when we click on the send button. Boolean m running is initially set to false, so it's not going to execute this part. It's going to jump down to the else statement here and start executing here. There'll be nothing put into the text diagnostic text box, which is this one here, other than the ready, which was set up in where was it set? There, set here in the text box. And then it sets the m running boolean variable to true, and then it'll change the send data button text to stop. Here, like, see, I clicked on it, it changes it to stop. There's a lot more stuff going on, but we're moving down the line here, so be patient. And then here you see that he'll create an instance of that manual reset event class, and here he's executing the reset, which remember we just covered was the blocking. So it sets the state of the event to non-signal, causing threads to block. So that's what he's doing there. He's blocking a thread or some threads. And then right after that, we've got the initialization of the job detail structure. Remember up here, create this job detail structure, and he's going to initialize it as an object, and then start assigning values to all those variables. In this case, mcom port is going to set that equal to the port name text box, whatever the text we put in there. Obviously, we put COM7 in there as a default, so it's going to take that and assign this variable mcom port to whatever we put into that text box. In this case, the string COM7. And then the same for each one. Baud rate, he has to convert it, obviously, because baud rate's going to be a string here in this text box, 2400, and he's going to convert it to an integer. And then your pair with the parity and parity variable, he is going to set that to whatever the combo box is selected. So obviously port parity, the box, and the selected item, which the default is selected as even. And then going to and then I guess this is a cast. He's casting it for the enumeration, I think. Could be wrong. And I'll pick this up next video.